Why does my oat milk say that there's added sugars, but in the ingredient list, there's no sugar added? Really interesting question that I have from a client today, and it took me on a deep dive to figure out why this label said that. The actual ingredients of her oat milk was water, oats, and sea salt. So there is not any added sugar within that ingredient list. However, when you look at the nutrition facts, under carbohydrates, under sugar, there is an added sugar, and there were 4 grams. She said, how is this possible? So let me first start off by explaining to you that all carbohydrates break down into our body as sugar. There are simple carbohydrates and there are complex carbohydrates. Oats are a complex carbohydrate. They have fiber included in them. So when a manufacturer is taking the oats to break them down into the oat milk, some manufacturers will use an enzyme that helps to break the oats down. That enzyme creates simple sugars out of the oats, typically maltose and glucose. When you look at the list of what added sugars are, maltose and glucose are on there because you can add those things to a product to increase the sweetness. But in this processing of the oats to create oat milk, the breakdown is creating those simple sugars. So basically what is happening is the fiber is being taken completely out, and then you just are left with the sugar part, the simple sugars of the oats, and that's what creates the oat milk. So if your brand says that there are added sugars, but there's no honey, agave, sugar, or anything like that within the ingredient list, this is why that is listed as that. It happens during the processing of the oats. So I thought this was really interesting, and I also think that a lot of times when I talk to people about carbohydrates, they don't realize that all carbohydrates are basically sugar. And it's okay for your general healthy population to eat carbohydrates. We just need to eat more of the complex carbohydrates than we do of the simple carbohydrates. So you want to intake things that have fiber and vitamins and minerals in them. That's going to be your fruits and vegetables, your whole grains, and things like legumes, beans. So that's just a little insight into your carbohydrates. And remember, carbohydrates aren't bad, y'all. Carbohydrates do not make us fat. We need carbohydrates to help release serotonin in our brain, which is the happy, feel-good chemical. You also need carbohydrates in conjunction with protein to help get all of those nutrients into your muscles for muscle building. So I hope this helps you understand, if you're an oat milk drinker, where that added sugar is coming from if it's not in the ingredient list.